Alrighty, everybody, thanks for joining me. This is your host, Tiny Jester. We are looking at Shadowrift, the heroic adventure game by Jeremy Anderson. But we're not actually looking at the actual base game. What we're doing is we're looking at some of the expansions for the game. We have Skittering Darkness, we have the ARCHFIENDS, and we have BOOMTOWN. And for some reason, I will have this one without the box because I don't know what happened to the box. So I taken this one out and then decided to order these other ones. And I was going to keep the box, but I can't find it. I don't know where it is. Maybe I did throw it out. So we'll look at this one first and see what's inside the box. This is what you get inside of the box. The box is, a box. So, using this expansion, to incorporate this expansion into your Shadowrift base game, weave each faction-specific card with it and split up the hero decks by type and add all the other cards, blah, blah, blah. There's a new kind of card in BOOMTOWN called Stances. Stances is a special kind of action or attack that stays in play after it's been played. It has a trigger, which is a secondary effect that you will go after you pay it. Effect that it will go after you pay it. The text above the trigger occurs just once immediately when you put the card into play. Once the stance is triggered, only the trigger matters. Then it tells you the condition to what happens with it. We have the Goblins in this expansion and their traps, and it gives you a little bit of information about that. Some more cards, which we'll look at here in a second, and that's pretty much it. And then, of course, you have your separator cards for the Goblins and their special rules. Place the trap cards face down in the monster special space. If traps are revealed, place them to the side of the board and shuffle them into the trap pile. And then the other faction is the Colossus. Place the defensive node card next to the board game. This is considered in play for the entire game and cannot be removed. Place the shock cards in the monster specific space to be handed out to heroes suffering them. So shock cards with the Colossus, Goblins with their stupid little traps. All right, so let's see what cards you get in here because we got a lot of stuff to go through. We have our scenarios if you want to set up specific scenarios for the BOOMTOWN scenario. We have Shenanigans. Can you beat the pesky goblins at their own game? And it tells you which cards to include. And then we have the Cog Mashers. A smash and bash battle with epic proportions. This is against the Colossus faction. And then here's the new rules on the stances. All right, so let's take a look at some of the new cards here. We have the Angel Feather. This is going to be a loot, 3 gold cost. Once per round, you may discard a wound to draw a card, and discard Angel Feather from play at any time to ignore a monster's passive power for the rest of the round. Nice. We have a skill card here. Blinding Speed. You may play an extra ultimate action attack each round. You may pay 1 money each battle to draw a card. And I'm trying to remember the actual terminology they use. I forget. But this is a skill card and a loot card. We're just going to separate these into piles because that's how you do it anyways. All right, now next we have a attack card, Deadly Repose. It's a stance. Costs 3, deal 1 melee damage. And it does have the exalted action, I think is what they call them, exalted actions. Trigger, if a monster attempts to kill a villager, it takes 2 damage. If the monster dies, the villager does not. So, cool way to keep your villagers alive as an attack action. We have another attack action here. This is Echomancy. It's a magic spell stance, 3 cost. Treat this as a copy of the last non-stance action or attack played this round. Trigger. If you gain a card, put it directly into your hand. Ooh, nice. So as an action card. Put those over there. We have another action card here. A Fencer's Grace, 5 cost. Attack action. I'm sorry, it's an action. Play when you attack for +1 damage. You and the next hero to attack cannot gain wounds for the rest of the round. Oh, that's nice. That is super good. Action. All right. Then we have the Illusionary Guard. It is a spell stance, magic, 4 cost. Deal 1 range damage. And then a trigger. If a monster would kill a shield villager, instead deal its heroism value in damage to a monster of your choice. Oh, wow. So when it goes to kill somebody, a guard, you can instead deal its heroism value in damage to a monster of your choice. Cool. That is an attack. All right. We have more loot here. This is the Iron Hourglass. Loot, 3 costs, 3 gold coins. When you keep any number, you may keep any number of cards in your hand during cleanup, but draw that many fewer cards during the draw step. Once per round, you may discard any non-affliction card to draw a card. Huh. Cool. So you can keep a couple cards, discard the rest, and try to set yourself up for better combinations of cards that work with other cards. That is a loot. We have the action 4 cost spell, Temporal Anomaly spell. Swap a villager in the town square with the villager at the bottom of the Traveler deck. And for 1 mana, you can play this when a villager is about to die, and this effect occurs instead of the villager being killed. Ooh, nice. Let's see at all the bad stuff now. Well, let's see. We have afflictions, shock. Lots of shocking afflictions, because that's what the Colossus do. Draw a card when you draw this, then discard an attack or action or attack. Draw a card when you draw this, then discard an action or an attack. You may pay 3 to heal shock from your hand, return shock to the shock pile. So that's brutal. Then we have some new villagers. We have the Tinker. 3 gold, 2 cost villager. Aid. Play an attack or action from your discard pile. If you discard a loot from play, deal 2 damage to a monster. Nice. We have the Stable Hand. Villager, 2 gold coin. Aid. Each hero may reveal and explore in hand to draw a card. We have a 2 gold, 2 cost merchant, spice trader, traveler. Reaction. Might is not required to... Might is not returned to the stack while Spice Merchant is in play, regardless of how you spend it. So you don't have to return your might back, which is cool. We have the Gambler, a Traveler, 1 gold, 4 cost villager. Aid, pay 1 gold to name a card, then draw a card. If you drew the named card, draw 3 more cards. So if you have a way to know what's on top of your deck, Gambler would work really well with you. Acrobat Traveler, it's a 5 cost reaction. When a hero would take a wound, that hero may discard a card to avoid it. So you can discard a card to not take your wound with the Acrobat. Nice. Then, of course, every good villager needs the Candlestick Maker. 2 gold, 3 cost, aid. Gain a seal, or earn an extra heroism for sealing a Shadowrift. Then we have some curses, 3 curses here. Curses, Clouded Thoughts, curse. I guess we'll come back to that maybe in a minute. Let's see what else we have here. All right, we have the action, 3 cost spell, Blood Reaping. When a hero attacks, you or that hero may reveal a wound in hand to make the attack deal ranged damage. And if you spend mana, +1 damage, and heal the revealed wound. So that is an action. We have the Raging Inferno, 4 cost spell, attack, 2 melee damage. If you spend a mana, deal 1 damage per affliction in your hand to every monster. Wow, so if you get this, and you get a bunch of wounds and shocks and whatever, you can do quite a bit of damage. Wow. All right, so those are that. Then we have 2 more cards for the draw. All right, the draw faction. And then we have some... These are not randomizers. No, they're not. Okay. We have 2 randomizers. We'll get some more of those, I'm sure. Let's see what else we have here. We got a villager. This is the shield bearer reaction. When a monster would kill a non-shield bearer villager in play, discard the shield bearer instead. Then we have the Goblin Squire Traveler, 1 gold, 3 cost, aid. Gain a wound when playing a spell to deal 1 damage to a monster. +1 if a wall or book is in the town square. So gain a wound when playing a spell, but deal an extra damage to a monster, +1 if a wall or book is in the town square. And then, of course, we have the Colossus and their minions and monsters. We're not going to go through that because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. All right. So that is the Colossus faction. Hey, Boo Tweezers. Hey, Gister. I played this game a lot. Interested in the new expansions. Good. And then, of course, we have the Goblins. Again, I'm not going to go through these because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. I mean, these cards, you know, are fine to spoil, but like the enemies, you don't want to know what they do and everything ahead of time. All right, so there's the Goblins. Put these guys aside. Then we have a bunch of randomizers if you want to set up a random setup. And then we have randomizers for the bosses if you want to randomize your bosses. And then we have another Colossus card. Right, so it has a defensive node, which we're not going to look at. Again, we're not going to spoil anything. And then the Goblin has all of their things, their special abilities. So I think we will put those at the bottom of the deck. Interesting, I want to see what these, why there's 2 draw cards in here. I don't know if they just add 2 cards to the draw or if they're replacing some. Let's look at our draw arrays here. Rumbling Stone. I'm wondering if they replace these 2 cards. Probably replaces these 2 cards with these 2. Because it's the same name, Rumbling Stone, and different effect. So I wonder if they didn't like this effect. Oh, and the other thing is these are 1s and these are 2. Let's see, does it actually say anything about that? This is the Rumble Stone. The stances. This expansion includes the following errata in the form of corrected cards from previous expansions and printings of the base game. 6 times Blood Reaping. 3 times Clouded Thoughts. 6 times Raging Inferno. And 2 times Rumbling Stone. Okay, so these are errata cards. So these should be... You should be using the updated Rumbling Stone. Okay, so that's good to know. And then... This is... Raging Inferno is from Eve of the Sickle Moon, which is the one I don't have. And then the other 2 are from Skittering Darkness, which we'll get to in a minute. So that is Blood... It is Clouded Thoughts, so I'm going to keep this one. And Blood Reaping. Oh, these are all the draw. Alright, so we'll put these errata cards in. Where did those other ones go? The... Blood Reaping. Ah, it must be these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I'm going to keep these out. So when we go through... All right, so these go with the Colossus. Right. These go with the Goblins. Goblins like this. Colossus like this, and we'll put our draw back in our box. All right, so put these guys in like that. The draw go back into their slots like this. There we go. All right, we'll just keep that over that way. cool that they have like a little setup for some scenarios. But I'm going to combine all of this extra stuff, so I'm not going to put this stuff away yet. Randomizers. Right, okay, here's the rest of randomizers. Okay. So these are the randomizers, and then the special scenario. And then these are going to be replacement cards for Skittering Darkness. Well, we better do this one next then, I guess. And there's one that I don't have, which is the Eve of the Sickle Moon. So if I can find that one, I'm going to order it. But I don't have that one yet, which kind of sucks, because I got all their other ones. All right, Skittering Darkness. Comes with stuff and more stuff and more stuff and nothing underneath. These little boxes, I would tell you guys to hold on to these if you can, even if you like put all your cards in here, because there's like a lot of games that you can like put all the components inside this box and then put that inside like another box, right? Like say, for example, I don't know. Let's just look at, say, Clank, right? So instead of having like just all your stuff miscellaneous, come on, open up. You can do it. I know you can, right? So you get rid of this little insert, which nobody ever uses, right? And then you can you put all your little pieces in here, or you could put your cards in here and keep them from like moving around in the box or whatever. I'm just showing you an example of what you could do, right? So then you know, put the tokens or whatever, probably all these stupid tokens, right? Instead of in this paper bag. Come on, you can do it. All right, we're going to do it right now. We're going to make the change. So, like, the cards will fit in there, and this will fit in there. What are these? Cubes? Well, this won't fit in there, but that shouldn't be in there in the first place. Alright, so now you get rid of this ugly plastic bag. Yucky. Put this in there like that. Give me back my lid. There's my lid. So now I got all the components in my little nice little box. It's going to keep from, you know, moving around as much in there. Plus, it's not as ugly having all these plastic bags and crap in there, right? All right, back to what we were doing. Dum bum 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 bum. Damn, I don't know why I don't have that other expansion. I saw on Amazon like about 2 or 3 months ago. I remember I was sitting there looking through stuff, and I was like, oh, you know what? I should probably get some expansions for Shadowrift. And I looked, and they had all 3 of them on there on Amazon. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, it was towards the end of the month, and I only get paid once a month, so I'm like, I'll just wait. And then when I went to buy them, like 2 of them are no longer on Amazon, so kind of disappointed. All right, let's see what we got here. We have the Relentless Dead and the Venom Blood, again, with their special setup and powers and everything. That's cool. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. Murderous Rage Curse. Withering Fear Curse. Twisted Loyalties Curse, and Clouded Thoughts. Now, if you own BOOMTOWN, you're going to take the 3 replacement ones and replace these. So let's see what the new... if you play an action or attack, you cannot gain cards this round. If you gain a card, you cannot buy an action or attack round. This says you cannot buy cards if you have played actions or attacks this round. You cannot play actions or attacks if you have bought cards this round. So kind of rewords this card to make a little bit more sense. Okay. So those 3 errata cards, goodbye. Put these aside. So that's a bunch of curses for somebody. And then, of course, let's go right ahead and find... There we are. All right, so Blood Reaping. Again, if you have the BOOMTOWN expansion, you'll get the replacement cards. These are the new cards. These are the old ones. The old ones say, play when a hero attacks, you or that hero may reveal wound in hand to make the attack deal range damage. And then for magic +1 damage, return the revealed wound to the wound pile. The new card says, play when a hero attacks, you or that hero may reveal wound in hand to make the attack deal range damage. And then for mana, +1 damage, heal the revealed wound. Yeah, just I think some wording issues with that original card. Probably too many people not sure how to use it or play it or whatever, and so they just decided to reprint it and word it a little bit better. And this is an action. So again, I mean, you could still use the other ones. It's not going to be the end of the world. All right, let's see what else we get here. So we have Night Blessing. This is a skill card, 3 cost. Knight's Blessing. Once per round, a hero may discard a card to draw a card, and another hero may discard a spell to draw a card. That's interesting. Okay. We have an attack. 4 cost attack. A Revenant Blade. It's a stance. We saw stances in BOOMTOWN as well. Deal 1 melee damage. If a corpse is in play, deal 1 additional damage. Oh, that's kind of nice. So your corpses actually will help you now. Trigger, if a monster kills a non-guardian villager, deal 2 damage to that monster. Deal an additional 2 damage if the villager is a baker. Or uses the bread. I think these are the bakers. All right, so that's cool. Attack. There we go. This is a action 4 cost Risen spell stance. You may put a corpse from the corpse pile on the bottom of the Traveler deck. Oh, so a good way to cycle the corpses out of there. And then for 1 mana, take the corpse from the town square instead. Trigger, if a corpse is in a Traveler space, return it to the corpse pile and deal 1 damage to 2 different monsters. Oh, that's nice. Risen. Oh, beautiful. So they've actually, I think they've improved their artwork in the background. The cards are still kind of generic, you know, the border and stuff like that. But I think they've done a better job of putting cool artwork in there. That's cool. Let's see. Tracking is a skill, 3 cost. Once per round, you may reveal the top 2 cards of the Traveler deck and return them to the top of the deck in any order. Whenever a hero deals damage to an undamaged monster, you may discard and explore to increase the damage by 2. Okay, so that worthless Explore card that lets you flip up the top of the Traveler deck now can actually do something. That's cool. Then, of course, we have the Blackleaf Bow. It's a loot, 3 gold coins. The first strike card you play each round deals ranged damage. Whenever you deal ranged damage, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may discard Blackleaf Bow to play 1 attack revealed this way, ignoring any heroic, exalted attack restrictions. Damage dealt from this attack is ranged. Cool. It does kind of expensive, 3 gold, but you can take... Whenever you deal the first strike card you play each round deals range damage. So you play a strike, it's ranged, so you won't take a wound. Whenever you deal ranged damage, you're going to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and you may discard this bow to play one of those attack cards, and you can possibly play a second exalted action. That's cool. We'll take that. That's loot. We have the Poison Shot. It is an attack for cost. It's an exalted action or whatever I can't remember what they call these things, but deal 1 ranged damage. Leave Poison Shot in front of you until the damaged monster leaves play. At the start of the refresh Traveler's step, add 1 damage to that monster. Because he's been poisoned. Right. Cool. That's an attack. Alright. We have an action, 3 cost, Tanglewood Trap Spell Stance. Choose 1 monster. Ignore all wounds dealt by that monster this round. Trigger, when a monster leaves town, put it at the bottom of the monster deck instead. Interesting. Then we have some more afflictions. We have Venom. We have Toxins. Corrupted Waters. Infection. Blight. And Miasma. These are all bad things. Lots of different afflictions. Interesting. All right, and we have the Restless Dead. Let's do it like this. So the Restless Dead. Alright, so the Restless Dead go like that. Then it looks like we have the Venom Brood. Alright. I'm not sure who gets these. There's a poison stack. Let's see. No, the Relentless Disc is going to use the curses. And I bet you these guys... Yeah, they're going to use these. Alright, so... put these with them. The Relentless Dead is going to use the curses, it looks like. Curses are special cards. Yeah, alright. Put that in there. Alright. Let's see. We have some more randomizers here. Let's pull these out. Randomizers. Should be 2 for the bosses. Where are the boss ones? So, and then there's new rules on poison, new rules on curses, a couple of those cards. We have the scenario, Eve of the Sickle Moon, and Skittering Darkness. So a couple different scenarios for each of those. Cool. Okay, I'm wondering if they see. Oh, okay, they are upside. Oh, okay, they do have them. Okay, there they are. I didn't realize that they... Well, that's kind of disappointing. They're a different color backs there. Oh, my gosh. I mean, maybe they did that on purpose because they wanted to keep the, play with this group of stuff all at one time. And then, let's see what else we have. We have some villagers. Of course, we got to have some new villagers. We got the Madman. He's a traveler. When a monster would hunt, it kills a villager in play instead. A hero may pay 1 mana to put Madman on the bottom of the Traveler deck. We have the Divine Traveler, 2 gold, 3 cost, book, aimed, discard your deck. You may then put any action or attack from your discard pile on top of your deck. So discard your deck, then put any actions or attacks from your discard pile on top of your deck. We have the Fletcher Guardian, our Shield, 2 gold, 3 cost, aid, added damage to a ranged attack. If a wall is in play, add 1 additional ranged damage. Young Hero Traveler, a shield, 1 gold, 3 cost. If Young Hero is the target of a hunt, he survives. The hunt ends, and the monsters take 1 damage. You go, Young Hero. We have the Princess Traveler, 3 gold, 4 cost. Each hero chooses to either gain a might to the top of his or her deck or draws a card. We have the Enchanter Traveler, book, 4 gold, 1 cost, aid. Place a spell from your discard pile on top of your deck. We have the Rampant Defender Traveler, shield, 2 gold, 3 cost. When a monster hunts, it cannot break a wall unless it is worth more than 2 heroism. And I think some of this stuff is actually making building walls a little bit better. The Woodsman with the hammer is 1 gold. Aid. You gain 2 money or 1 gold coin. Resources gained from Woodsman cannot be used to make a purchase. And the Butcher, another hammer. Aid. Gain a might and 1 gold. So that is what you get in, the last one. Skittering Darkness. Couple different, like I said, setups. All right, and the only one that actually came with like a rule book so far has been this one. Now, and of course we've had some replaced cards here. Blood Reaping, Clouded Thoughts, and a couple of the Drow cards. Let's open the last one. I had to get my drink. This is another one. This is another one of these that is a really good box to keep for your other games. Because unlike the other box, this one is really thick. So you could put like a lot of cards inside this box. that other games would use, and it's not going to take up a lot of space for you. Alright, so this one actually does come 186 cards, setup, gameplay, king turns, boss battles. So this is going to add the bosses to the game, the Archfiends, right? So normally when you lose and game's over. Game over, you lose, right? Well, now if you lose, if you win by closing the 2 gates, you normally just win and it's game over, right? Well, now you got to fight the big boss, the Archfiend, at the end. So let's see what's in the box, shall we? Yes, we shall. We have the Soulish, the Hero Tiles, the Forgotten King, the Lord Winter, the Titans, and Marzosa, and Neveros. So we'll take a look at those guys. I think each of the bosses comes with like their own hero deck or something. We shall see. We shall see. Come on. All right. Let's see what we got here. So we have Undying Effect, Onslaught, oh, let's turn these over. So I think these are just going to be broken up into, like, each boss has their own set of cards, right? We're not going to go over those because I don't want to have any spoilers for you guys, for the bosses anyways. Then we have that. You can see the artwork. This is just like a zoomed in part of it. And now you can see like the whole artwork. All right. Hero titles. We'll look at those here in a second. So that is the Titans. Let's see who else. Where's those two? Go with this guy. Make his deck. Neveros. One more stack. We've gone through these cards a lot quicker than I thought we were going to, because most of these we're not gonna sneak a peek at, are we? Ooh, pretty. Ooh, oh no. All right. Put that with that. You got the hero titles, which are going to give you angelic, famous, Magnus, Notorious, Prodigy, Slayer, and Unbreakable. And I think each one of these is going to give you a special ability that you can use to kind of offset the fact that you're playing against the ARCHFIENDS that are going to be super hard to defeat. So, like for Prodigy, each round you may maintain one skill for free. Wow, that's huge. Notorious, each round you may discard a card to remove an infiltrator from the town. Well, that's, I mean, wow, some of these are really, really good. And, oops. Oh, and then there's like a setup card for each of the ARCHFIENDS. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 of them. So 5 setup cards that give you information about how to set them up and what they do. That's cool. Probably should stack these with the cards that they belong to, like that. And this one is going to go here, and this one's going to go there. And this one's going to go there. The Forgotten Kings up front. And the Titans. Where's the Titan? There's the Titans. That was pretty simple. Wow, that pack I thought was going to take an hour and a half, but as you can see, it didn't take an hour and a half. The question is, can I fit all of this stuff in one row? Doesn't look like it. I mean, I could really... I could, but it would really squash it. Really squash it. So we won't do that, I guess. Besides, all of these guys are a different expansion anyways. Always keep your extra starter form. You're going to need it, right? As you can see. Going to need one more, it looks like. Stop falling. Stop falling forward. Thank you. Put this in there. Like that. There we go. Just like that. Put these little pieces on top. Oh, what the hell am I doing? Right. Still have all this stuff to put away, which is going to fill up this side anyways. Villager. Go there. Skills. Go here. Action. Here. Wait a minute. I just looked at action. Yes, action should go there, not under attack, dummy. Attack goes there. Actions go here. That's much better. Loot here. Randomizers go here. You have your extra rule change cards, your scenario cards. We will just put those under the basic cards like that. There you go. Put this in like this. You now have a couple boxes you could use for your other games. We have these extra cards that were replaced. We're just going to put these on the side over here. I always like to keep them just in case something happens to one of the damaged cards or one of the replacement cards. It gets damaged or something. You can always use one of the old cards. Put your rule book in like that. You put your board back on top. You got your lid ready to go. You can see everything fits in. No extra bulging. And you're ready to put this back on your shelf, ready to play, right? Plus you've got a couple boxes you can use for your other games. This one, whew, this is going to be a good one. You don't normally get these little ones that are really thick like that. So you can see there is, you know, some games that might come with bigger pieces. Put them in there, and these are really nice boxes, so really sturdy. I try not to throw any boxes away. I always like to reuse some of them, but you know. Anywho, there you go. Shadowrift. Hopefully we'll get this on the table for you guys sometime soon. Thanks for coming by. Don't forget to head out to the Blue Tweezers today, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Blue Tweezers Plays. So hopefully we'll see you guys out on his channel, and hopefully we'll see you back here later today or tonight, maybe for some Shadowrift. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.